Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to BurghTakes for episode 8. I am your host, Caleb, joined by my two co-hosts, Miles and Logan. How we doing, fellas, this weekend?
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, we're going to dive into Pirates baseball like usual. We said last episode about we're getting into a series with the Cardinals again. Game 1 of the Cardinals, Matthew Liberatore had the mound, went 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, with 9 strikeouts. Teller also got the mound. Again, he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs with 3 strikeouts. And also this game, we talked about last episode about the pass were getting called up. Garcia got called up. He got his first hit. He went 1 for 4. But the Cardinals were clutch up in the extras. They grabbed 3 runs. This game was back and forth. We came back, but Cardinals came clutch when it needed in the 10th inning, and they won the first game at 9-6. Any thoughts on the first series against the Cardinals?
Nothing really specific that comes to mind. Like you said, it was nice to see the password come in. Obviously, that first game, we had a blog come out on it. There was a little bit of jitters, it appeared, but I really liked what I've seen over this first, batch of games from him. He appears really comfortable at the plate, and especially in the outfield. I think obviously there's a lot of people playing out of positions, and having him out there in the corner and actually feeling confident and knowing what he's doing, it really makes the difference with this defense.
100%.
Well, I was going to say the same thing. I think he brings a lot of stability into a defense that doesn't really have a lot of stability right now. And, obviously he has some jitter. Like you said, he had some jitters up at the bat. But, he got to take some time to get used to that. I mean, is it his first time being called up, or is it, second time?
Yep.
He played briefly with the Sox last year, but, didn't really get action, so.
That's what I mean. So it's it's still them first reps, so it's we still got to give him some time and everything. But it is exciting to see him called up.
Yep. Going into Game 2 against the Cardinals, Michael McGreevy got 5 innings, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, and gave up a homer. Carmen Majiski got the mound again. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 K. And the bullpen, after Carmen got out in the 5th inning, were perfect. 0 earned runs given. We only gave up 5 hits this game, and 6 Ks total. Great game by the bullpen. Something we've been trying to look for this whole season. And key performances I had for this game: Konnor Griffin went 4 for 5. Had 3 runs. Nick Gonzalez went 2 for 4, 2 ribbies. Inspector Horwitz had a home run, and also Garcia, that we just called up, he went 2 for 5 and got his first RBI in the bigs. And also Brian Reynolds had 2 RBIs as well. And Pirates win 7-0, and the bats came alive this game. And pitching also, we talked about the bullpen last episode, and pretty much this whole week since we started this podcast, and just how bad this bullpen's been. So it's good to see them clean it up and give up 0 earned runs. Any thoughts?
Yeah. I can't remember if it was game 2 of this series. I believe it was the Cardinal series, not the Blue Jay series. But Nicky G, he has been playing well, but he got absolutely robbed of a home run. I believe it hit the top of the wall. I think it was the Cardinal series. It just seems like he's really, really turning around. He's been one of the best third basemen, but that power, that lack of power, man, I really want to see him, maybe change something. I don't know if beefing up would tweak his swing so much. I mean, obviously it's nice to have a 300 hitter out there, but his lack of power hits is really beginning to worry me. He wasn't obviously known for his power, but it definitely seems like something is different. And yeah, we don't have much of those average guys, but it's getting a little bit worrying to me at this point, how long it's been without any of those long balls for him.
No, yeah, that's a good point. He is our best hitter when it comes to average. But yeah, power under that would definitely make him elevate his game a bit more. Going into Game 3 against the Cardinals, Dustin May got the mound. Weird to see him. He used to, in a Blue Jay, he's in a Cardinals uniform, usually in a Dodger uniform, so that was a bit weird seeing him in the red and white. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. And then Ashcraft went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. Ashcraft had a great game going through 7 innings. That was perfect. Key performances I had, Brendan Lau went 2 for 4, a homer, and Marcell Ozuna got 2 RBIs. He went 2 for 4, and Henry Davis also got a dinger as well. And Konnor Griffin also got a hit with 2 runs. Pirates win 6-2, and Pirates would take this series 2-1. So good for them against our rivals, especially a division opponent winning this series. We talked about it. They just need to keep winning series to try and compete in this tough division. Obviously, I have big praise for Ashcraft. I think he's one of our best pitchers, and we'll talk about that later when we get to the May recap. But but he's awesome. I love when he's on the mound. I love his command, and I really do think he is our best pitcher.
Yeah, I totally agree. Another great start from him. I was almost expecting like these starts here coming up, him to taper off a little bit. Now, like you've seen it with Skenes, kind of these, I mean, they've talked about it. They want to get extra rest for these starters. I thought, maybe you'd see Ashcraft, a guy who really hasn't, he's still young, maybe not show his age a little bit. He hasn't so far this season. I was expecting maybe him to fall apart, but he hasn't yet. And he's looked amazing. It'll be really interesting to see if he could continue to push this together, and I wouldn't be surprised how it's going. He joins Paul Skenes in the All-Star game.
That would be sick.
I mean, I really like Ashcraft too. I think he's one of those guys that is amazing at keeping his composure and also using his emotions in a great way. Like, I think it was this game whenever he was pitching that he did get a little bit angry in that last inning, and he sort of used that as fuel to get through the last part of that start. And I just love his consistency because he's starting to feel like a Mitch Keller type, how he said, like, when he goes out there, it feels like a good day. It feels like Braxton's sort of turning into that where, like, he's becoming our, like, underdog, underrated kind of consistent guy that, like, people don't expect to be good, but he is getting us those wins.
For sure. Going into our Blue Jay series, going up to Toronto up north, the Pirates had Toronto had Gosman on the mound. He went 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. Bubba Chandler got the mound again. He went 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts. Honestly, a good game from him. Dennis Santana also gave up 3 runs when he came in, only 2 strikeouts. But like I said, finally good game for Bubba. The only thing I really talk about Bubba is just his pitch command, and we talked about it. Like, it's kind of hard for him. I wish he would get to those 6 or 7 innings deep in the game. That would really help us. But overall, good game from him, honestly, getting 11 strikeouts and only giving up 1 earned run. Pirates couldn't really get much going when it came to the bats, and Jays bring up 6-2.
Yeah, I mean, you said it there. It was a great start from Chandler. It seems like with a lot of his stuff, like the command isn't there, but he does, like similar to how Skenes was early in his career. Obviously, they're very different pitchers, but Skenes was a guy who was just going up there pitching for whiffs, not pitching for contact or pitching for efficiency. It still feels like Chandler needs to figure out his efficiency, especially a guy who you're not the best with your command. You need to be generating more contact. Obviously, 11 strikeouts is great, but obviously it'd be better if you went 5 or 6 or 6 or 7. You actually qualified for a real start. You can't even qualify for a a solid start or whatever the stat is if you pitch 5. You need to pitch 6. So. I mean, I just think he needs to get a little bit more efficient and not necessarily generate for or pitch for generating whiffs and, not getting bat on ball. You need to pitch for actually getting some outs besides strikeout. And I think that's the thing that a lot of young pitchers have to learn early. But it's good to see that everything else in his game is sort of leveling out. I just want to see him work on that maybe.
I agree. I think, Miles, you're bringing up a lot of good points. I also want to bring up how the bats just didn't look good against a guy like Kevin Gausman, who really doesn't have that big of a pitch arsenal. I'm pretty sure he only has a fastball and a sweeper and the occasional slider. So for him to get 8 strikeouts on us and for us to only score 2 runs, that's not really what we should be doing against Kevin Gausman. It just feels like when we get those 2 wins off the Cardinals, then we go right back into the gutter. It feels like right now we're in a win a couple, lose a couple, win a couple, lose a couple. We're not really getting on any streaks, hot or cold, right now.
Yeah,
I forget.
And I mean,
sorry, I was going to a whole different point.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, to continue on what you were saying, I mean, I don't want to foreshadow a little bit too much, but I mean, Gausman's the only guy out of, the other 2 pitchers we saw this series that was actually on the Blue Jays last year. All 3 of these arms are older guys. It just feels like the coaching, and I know it feels like it's something we talked about a lot, just coaching really didn't read how to read these guys and to let, these older guys come back and go into their heyday and do, what they could control the games. I mean, I saw it briefly whenever I worked at the Pirates last year. Shelton wasn't a great coach, but they have film on these guys. On, I forget who it was, Montgomery on the Diamondbacks last year. They have, pitch tips of what they're going to do based on where their glove positioning is. It just feels like with these older guys they're just not doing that anymore, and maybe they're just not up to their scouting reports to maybe the best of their abilities. Obviously they are older pitchers and they are good, but I don't know, it just feels like they're controlling the game too much.
I was gonna say, I don't know, did Valdez get called up this game or was it the next
No,
game? But I wanted to mention, was it the next game?
I think it was the next game.
Yeah, but Valdez did get called up in game 2 against the Blue Jays. He plays outfield, right?
Right field. Yeah, he played right field.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. But game two against the Blue Jays, Patrick Corbin got the mound. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and then Skenes also got the mound. In rough game for Skenes, only went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits, 4 earned runs with only 2 strikeouts. And Pirates again couldn't really get anything going with his bats. And Jays win 5-2. And the question that I have from you guys is, should we be concerned about Skenes?
That's for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wrote the blog today, and there's a lot of people who are unhappy with it. But you dig through all of his numbers, there's just things that are just not making sense. Like his day and night game splits are the biggest thing to me. Like undefeated, sub-1 ERA. I think it's a night game, but day games he's 1-4 and has like a 6 ERA. High leverage situations, he's never posted like I think above a 2.2 batting average. But this year it's like 300. It's just he's not been able to put it all together. And if you look at it, his pitch usage is pretty much the same. His whiff, generation is pretty much the same. It just feels like it almost is mental at this point. I don't know what it is because technical aspects, the more and more you look into it, nothing has changed in Skenes' game. His arm angle is pretty much the same. Like I said, that arsenal hasn't changed. He has more of a supporting cast with the bats. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not concerned because like I've said a billion times, it's not those technical things, and obviously that's the hardest thing to learn. It is those mental things that you can, quickly adjust on. But I think it's time to maybe get him in with a sports psychologist or something like that. Get a little bit of tap into what's going on because something's not the same with him. It's clear.
No, yeah, for sure. I just think just filming, like you said, like their hitters are just knowing what's coming. Like and nothing is changing. What were you gonna say, Logan?
I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like it's a lot of thing with just tape, like you were talking about with the other pitchers. I feel like we talk about this guy like he's like a real. I mean, he is in the veteran status now, but like he is still only 3rd year in the league, and we should expect highly of him because he was Rookie of the Year and Cy Young, but he still has room to grow, and it might not be in the technical aspect like Miles said, but it could be in the mental aspect because, I mean, I know a lot of people might not agree with what Miles says, but I agree with what Miles says because when you watch him, it just feels like when those runners do get in scoring position, when he does get a couple of hits off his bat, he sometimes tends to spiral and doesn't really find the zone, or he just finds barrels on his own, and it's a recipe for disaster if you can't get that figured out. Especially
he needs to feel comfortable on the mound to actually succeed. That's the whole reason why Henry Davis has a big league roster spot at this point. To only catch on Skenes days and to make him feel comfortable because that's his guy. And maybe I'm grasping at straws here and maybe just connecting 2 dots that aren't really connected, but maybe that's just what I'm seeing is that, Skenes needs to have this mental situation that is beneficial to him. He needs to still worry about those, jitters. I mean, it's expected. He's still a young player, like you said, but yeah, it's a little worrying. He obviously has the caliber to not be worried about these things. He's the best pitcher in the league. He shouldn't be this worried.
And I feel like he's one of those guys that, like, I mean, even last year, his record might not have shown it, but, like, he was dominant in almost every one of his starts, and he has been this dominant guy. And we have seen this year he has faltered at points, and maybe that is something that might be eating at his confidence. Like, the Mets game, we talked about that in, like, the first episode, and, like, these other moments where the defense can't get behind him. And it just seems like when something's not going right for him and he's not dominating the way that he's supposed to, he just gets in his head and he's just not comfortable, like you said.
Yeah, and I do think, I mean, almost, and this isn't exactly what you said, but almost on those points, like with your defense and, these other things, like, there was more of these reasons, like Skenes could go out there and have a decent or not an outing to his expectations and be like, well, the defense let me down or the bats didn't score, the run production wasn't there. And now it's kind of like, well, this roster was built with his winning with to help him. So now if the results aren't coming, you're equally as play as this, Paul. And I mean, it kind of has been this in his past few starts.
That is what I was trying to get at, so thank you for clarifying my point.
Going into game 3 against the Blue Jays, Dylan Cease got the mound. He only went 4 innings. I wasn't able to watch this game, but I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was
He was
his pitch
hurt.
count was super high. Oh, he was hurt.
He got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got hurt. He it looked like his something with his arm.
Did you not say
Okay.
Andre freaking out
Oh
about it?
yeah, our fantasy baseball comrade said it was a UCL injury up north. So sources weary asterisk on that
Close
one.
sources.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he only went 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, with 8 strikeouts. Mitch Keller got the mound again. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. Solid for him, especially getting to the 6th inning. Bullpen played well as well. Like gave up 0 earned runs. And then Valdez got his first ever hit, and it was a home run. 2 RBIs, and then O'Neal Cruz went 1 for 4. He also got a home run, and Spencer Horwitz also got a home run as well. And Pirates win 4-1 and avoid the sweep. But Jays did win the series 2-1. Any thoughts on the last game against the Blue Jays?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, those big hits are going to help you win, but a lot of dialogue over this series has been the runners in scoring position. You just got to do better. We've talked about it roughly over these past few episodes about, how they're not necessarily the most clutch bats, and I think, you kind of see in this, they're relying live or die by the long ball almost at sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we saw that other teams are cracking down on the cone situation that we've had a trend. They took away cones, I saw on Twitter.
Yes.
So, what the fuck's that about, man? That's our cone. What are we doing here?
I mean, I just think it's brutal.
They said it was a
you see-
distraction to the game. That's what I was heard.
Yeah. Yeah, they're using anything. I saw, Toronto has that hotel in center field. Somebody in the hotel had put up, let's hoist the cone or something, which is
Yeah,
kind
I
of
saw
cool to
that.
see that.
I saw that.
You can't take away, you can maybe try, but you're not going to be successful in silencing Bucco Nation. Maybe we are a baseball town after all. We just needed a cone.
Yeah.
But on all serious note, I think this is kind of stupid. Baseball is probably in one of its best fanfare spots it's been in recent years. It seems like ratings are doing good. You have, St. Louis fans doing the tarps off thing. You have, this here. It just seems like the game is in one of the best spots it's been with the fans. I understand this is part of it, the rivalries type of thing, but come on. You got to just let it slide. Let's try to build the culture in baseball back again.
I completely agree. I say let the boys have fun. You know what I mean? It's just fun. And like you just said, building the culture of baseball. I mean, baseball has been getting more popular throughout since 2020 probably. I mean, with the success of the last World Series too, I feel like you should really ride that popularity wave that you have and keep the fans interested because we talked about the fan interest in Pittsburgh. It's if you take away our cones, what the fuck are we going to do? That's really all we have is Pittsburgh fans right now.
Yeah. Getting into the hitters month of May, like we said, Nick Gonzalez does still lead us with a .1 or 3.13 average. He's batting over 300 with 20 hits in 17 games. The only thing, like Miles said, we wish the power was there, which 100%, if he does get the power, I think it's going to escalate his game much more, like I said. Horwitz also has a 300 average, 18 hits with 12 RBIs. And Konnor Griffin's playing really well right now. He's batting over 300, 24 hits and 16 runs. And there's a lot of talk that he may win Rookie of the Year. I was talking with my friend with that. I still don't believe that. I still think it's either, there's 3 other guys I still think that's much better.
Weatherholt.
Not much better, but Weatherholt, McLean, and then Sales Stewart. They're all playing really well. But you never know. I hope Griffin wins, but I got to bet on that he doesn't win, so I hope he doesn't win. But Brandon Lau has 5 home runs, 12 RBIs with a 250 average. Brian Reynolds also has 13 RBIs with a 200 average as well, 250. And O'Neal Cruz has 6 stolen bases, 12 hits, and 13 runs in the month of May. And then I just wanted to highlight about Marcell Ozuna also. He's batting 200, which I guess is all right, but he's just not living to the hype as I wanted him to live to the hype. When he came here, he has 14 hits, 3 home runs, and 12 RBIs in the month of May. He's more of just an RBI type of guy with us, which is awesome. You're getting RBIs for us, that's awesome. You're getting runs in, but definitely wish he would be much more of a contributor when it comes to this offense. And I wanted to pose a question to you guys. What do you guys think standout players in the month of May? Who do you dislike? Who do you want to improve? Any thoughts on the roster so far in the month of May?
A lot of people have been talking about him. Is Horwitz? Yeah, I mean, you mentioned him there. I think it's that trade is that Luis Ortiz for him. It was a steal. I didn't expect this. I honestly thought, with guys like Brandon Lau and Aaron coming in, that Horwitz would be a platoon guy and we wouldn't see him every day. He's smashed my expectations, and he's been a completely rejuvenating factor in this lineup.
I completely agree. I was going to say Spencer Horwitz. I mean, I know I've been critical of him, but, I mean, when he's performing, I mean, I got to like him, you know what I mean? I also thought he would be this every other day kind of guy. I thought Ryan O'Hearn and him would switch positions, but I think he has fully earned the right to be the everyday first baseman for us right now, and I do not mind it at all. I want to know your guys' opinion on him hitting a leadoff, because I don't really mind it, to be honest with you. I think when he gets a hit and he gets us going, he finds barrels, and I feel like he's a good tone setter for us.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Him or Nicky G would be obviously your two best contact bats. I would love to see a reality out there, or a possibility where O'Neal Cruz gets his discipline good enough to be a leadoff guy, just because I like speed leading off. But I just don't see that as a possibility, and I think, I love the idea of him leading off.
Because I honestly hate O'Neal Cruz leading off, because I feel like when he, like, Miles, you tweeted it out the one time, he had that horrible strikeout in, like, San Francisco to lead off the game, and it was like, I feel like whenever he gets those horrible strikeouts to start the game, it's like that's a really tall sign of how he's going to perform, especially, and if that's how he's going to perform, that shows you how the rest of the team's probably going to perform. So I love Horwitz getting us off to a nice start usually.
Yeah, I mean, he leads the league with strikeouts, right? With 70 or like 80 something.
Yeah, he's on pace for over 200. It's insane.
That is crazy.
But if he puts it, I mean, like I wrote about, I'm not worried about his discipline and striking out. Like, we can afford for him to strike out, I think.
Yeah.
But just to continue on the May batting, I mean, it was a big month for everyone turning around. Like you said, Ozuna, like Reynolds. I mean, I was really impressed with Reynolds. I think people were starting to get their eyes on him of, you need to turn it around. And he's really, switching it around and being a good bat. I think he's definitely, you're seeing him start to regress in his career. I wouldn't be opposed to maybe having discussions of getting him off the team just because of that contract, trading him. And with the password and Valdez, I think we're pretty short up in the corner outfield. But I think this is a good few weeks for him to maybe put himself in the shop window.
If Ryan O'Hearn gets called up, do you just send Valdez back down or Garcia?
I mean, he has that ability to play the infield. Not that, like, the infield isn't the place where we don't already have enough players, but, I mean, I don't know who else you would send down. Like, Triolo is your best fielding guy, and he has been playing better with the bat. I don't know. I mean, I know Joey Bart's coming back soon, so you're going to see one of the catchers. Probably Endy goes down. I would hopefully they send down Hank, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, probably not.
And there's going to be a lot of decisions to make. I don't know. I have no idea. I think this is why they're starting to get to the point where it's like, well, you got to maybe think of a move. I mean, you have these 100%. Guys. Maybe you know what you need. You need a closer. You need some bullpen guy. I mean, I don't know who would take a aging bat for a bullpen or a closer, but like, hey, I think you got to start trying to make some moves here.
Going into the starting pitchers in the month of May, Paul Skenes, he has a.
I wanted to say something. Miles, you brought up about like Nicky G and like how he hasn't gotten a home run yet and all this stuff. And I agree with you. Like, I do want to see his power come back and I want to see him hit home runs. But I think him batting for that average and him getting us those hits too is also like just great. I mean, when has Nicky G been this consistent for us? I mean, never.
No, you're right.
So I mean, this is just. I feel like this could be a sign of this being a. Fuck is that called? Progression year. That's the best thing.
A breakout.
Breakout year for Nicky G. And so I'm sort of excited for it. And there is still time for that power to come. And hopefully, when he does hit that first home run, he doesn't break his leg. That's what we need to hope for.
Yeah, I mean,
he's on pace for a good. Like, he's on pace for a breakout year when it comes to even RBIs, and he's gonna break his RBIs from last year. He had 30 last year, so he's on 21 right now.
He's always contributing.
If he bat 20, 15 home runs, he would be a top 5 in his position. I genuinely believe that. I think he's already a top 10 player in his position by fielding and batting, but I think he would be a superstar if he just had the power to follow, which is obviously a lot to ask, but
Yeah. But
100%.
I mean, whenever he's still contributing without the power, I mean, I feel like you can't really ask too much of him. You know what I mean? You gotta take what you get with him.
Yeah, you can't. And I mean, he, like you also said, he's here for the average. He's not here for the power.
Yeah.
Like you have these other guys who are here just like Ozuna, just to either strike out or get a home run. So, yeah, I mean, I understand you're making a good point there. Do we want to move on to the pitchers in the month of May?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starting off with Paul Skenes, he has a 3.12 ERA with 26 strikeouts and only 4 starts. Bubba Chandler has 4 ERA with 20 strikeouts, and opponents are batting 1.82 against him when it comes to the month of May. Mitch Keller has a 4 ERA, 4.18, 16 strikeouts. It's pretty good when it comes to innings for the rotation for us. And Braxton Ashcraft, like we said, he's a star of our rotation right now, had a 1.91 ERA, 26 strikeouts, and has been one of the most effective arms overall for pretty much this whole season. And then, Todd, do we want to talk about the starting pitchers? You want me to just move on?
I mean, I got nothing to say that we haven't already said. Yeah.
No.
For sure. And our best bullpen arms I had was Evan Hisk. He has literally a 0.75 ERA in 10 appearances with 12 strikeouts. He's one of our best when it comes to it. Gregory Soto is also doing well. He's on a 3 ERA. And when it comes to his stuff, a lot of guys aren't getting hits on him. Mason Montgomery's also solid in dependable innings. He has a 4 ERA with solid strikeout stuff. And then one of our worst bullpen arms, Dennis Santana, is the worst bullpen arm in this fucking bullpen. Has a 10 ERA, has struggled badly this month of May. Yohan Ramirez is also not doing good. He has a lot of control issues. He has a 7 ERA, and Justin Lawrence is just a lot. It's just a lot of traffic consistency that he brings. He has a 5 ERA, and then Isaac Mattson also has a 6 ERA, and just giving up very hard contact when he comes in. Thoughts on the bullpen so far? Obviously, these past 6 games, we cleaned it up a little bit, but overall in the month of May, we're not doing too well. But these past 6 games been all right. But obviously, the struggle is with Santana and Yohan Ramirez, Justin Lawrence, and Isaac Mattson.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we've talked about with this bullpen, I think, is true. It isn't good, and it needs to improve if this team really wants to get somewhere. But the thing that I've been really thinking about when it comes to it, I've seen a lot of people, specifically like Andrew Filipponi and a lot of people on Twitter, talk about how this bullpen failure is on Ben Cherington for constructing a bad bullpen. When in reality, I just don't think that's true at all. And I think, yeah, maybe the performance hasn't been great, but when you really think about it, those bullpen arms are expensive for maybe 1 or 2 guys, and you know, you are operating on a shoestring budget already is with the Pirates. You know, you see our most productive relievers are 3 guys that he has brought in. So I think giving it Ben Cherington a lot of the negative aspects of that performance are really overblown, and I've seen that. And I just don't think that's right, especially Sisk. I mean, you saw that was a trade for Bailey Falter, and Falter's damn near pitched himself out of the league now. Montgomery was great in the Lau trade, and Soto was, I think, a steal. I don't know. I mean, it's the guys that have actually been here for a little bit longer, Mattson, Lawrence, and Santana, who haven't been the best. And I think it's a lot of the management of the bullpen hasn't been great either. But I think that there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, especially with this recent play. I think it just all matters about finding the next 2 people. I mean, realistically, you only need a set few batch of people in your bullpen, and I think Cherington has built a great core here with Sisk, Soto, Montgomery, and even Santana if he figures it out. I think it's time that we tap into the minors, get 1 or 2 guys up, or just start rotating until we find it all out. I think the bullpen's starting to turn a corner, and it's just about mix and matching until you find something that works.
Before you go, Logan, I wanted to say something. Caller Holderman, I don't know if you guys remember him from last year.
He's playing very well right now.
He's playing really well, and I'm not trying to. Yes, he is 14 games played, 1.47 ERA in the bullpen.
Fucking guy.
But I'm not trying to get too like onto the coaching and maybe it's a coaching issue. Maybe we don't have the best pitchers when it comes to like coaching and stuff like that. Maybe that's why I wanted to say that, because we're seeing guys that come out of the bullpen or like go somewhere else and just play like better. Like I'm not like I don't know how to like.
Hold on.
Good at one point though. Like Holderman was good at one point with the Pirates, and he just
He was good for 2 years. He was decent for 2 years.
I think he just needed a change of scenery almost is what it was with the case of him. Now I don't disagree that the situation is part of the problem, but I think with him and specifically it wasn't more. It just both sides. It really wasn't working anymore.
Yeah, he had a terrible season in 2025. So yeah.
No, I mean, I was going to go on with what Caleb said. I think the management of this bullpen and, like, the coaching of this bullpen isn't good. I mean, the management of it, like, I feel like a lot of the times I kind of question what Don Kelly's doing when he brings an arm in, and I feel like that's never really good whenever 90% of the time I'm questioning what the hell he's doing. But it just feels like he doesn't really have anybody he can really depend on, so he just fucking throws a dart at a map and picks whoever the hell it lands on. You know what I mean? And what Caleb was talking about the pitching, I do believe that really does play into this because we have had terrible pitching coaches, terrible pitching coaching staffs in the past like 20 years. Like I mean, we've seen it with Garrett Cole leaving. We've seen it with frickin' Tyler Glasnow leaving, which might have been inevitable, but you know what I mean. But I just think it comes down to us not knowing how to handle these pitching prospects and not knowing how to develop them. And just our coaching as a whole. I mean, this young coach, he seems to be a little bit better with the starters at least, but when it comes to the bullpen, it doesn't seem like he has a handle on them.
It just feels too much matchup orientated. Like he overthinks some things, and it's like, well, leverage matters a lot too. Like he feels like he worries too much about righty lefty more than, well, this is a high leverage situation, let's put our best arm on there regardless if he's going against a righty or lefty. I think you're right, is it's going to be a lot of growing pains, and we've talked about that with Kelly, and it's frustrating because it just doesn't feel like we have the time to figure it out on the fly.
I was going to say, I also want to talk about Kelly. He got tossed out for the first time this season in Game 2 of the Blue Jays game.
Yes.
But to me, it seems like it's like, you know, whenever your manager usually gets tossed out, it's because he's standing up for a player. The first time he gets tossed out, it's standing up for his fucking coach, for his assistant coach. It's like, I get it, like, you know what I mean? But, like, it just feels weird getting picked out for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's suspend. I mean, I almost completely forgot about it. I'm glad that you brought it up. That was a weird ejection. It felt like the ump was on a power
weird.
Trip.
Yeah.
That coach getting ejected first was extremely weird, and then Don Kelly almost got him on a bad day. Yeah, I mean, it is weird. I do think you got to think that Kelly is probably a player's guy, though. That Davinsky suspension that happened earlier this season, Kelly served it for him. I think that's actually probably one of the things the only thing that Kelly probably does to a T that's good, almost like a Mike Tomlin, like a player's coach. Yeah. And I think that's the tactical aspect that's maybe not, you know, all the way there, and that's why some of these players, I think maybe I don't know if ego would be the right way to do it, but just they're comfortable in doing things their own way. And if you had a guy like, you know, maybe like an experienced guy like a Terry Francona who, you know, has his way of doing things, I just don't think that would happen. Which is very dangerous in a young core when you give the power to the players. It's very dangerous. It is obviously a good batch with Skenes, and I think the leadership is positive, but I could see it going badly if, you know, if he doesn't get a handle on things, we'll say.
Getting an Mbappe situation.
Yeah, something
Barcelona.
like
that. Looking at the outlook for the Pirates for the next series, we go against the Cubs at home, and we also go against the Twins at home. Derek Shelton versus Don Kelly showdown. And then we play the Astros and we go to Houston. Looking at the National League Central, though, the Brewers are in the lead. They have 30 wins, 20 losses. Cardinals sit at 29 and 22. And then the Cubs digressed a little bit from last episode. They're 29 wins and 24 losses. And then the Reds are 27 and 25. And we are 27 and 26. We're at the bottom of the league. Any thoughts about the Pirates' outlook for the next series? Obviously, Cubs is going to be a big series. And then, obviously, we go to the Twins and Astros, which also are kind of gimme wins. I mean, the Twins aren't playing good. Obviously, the Astros, they don't have Altuve's injured. And Jordan's not playing too well right now. He's digressing a little bit. So this is a series where those two series, Cubs will be 50-50, honestly. But the Twins and Astros, I feel like we could win those series. But you never know.
And I mean, especially if you look, I forgot to put this in the notes. The Pirates haven't lost a road trip all year. Now they might have lost a series on the road, but combining the two series, they've never actually lost a whole road trip. So I think this is a very optimistic stretch going forward. Now, obviously, the Cubs isn't so optimistic. That'll probably be a few losses. But I'm really keeping my eye on that Minnesota series. It looks like the 29th, there's a potential Jared Jones comeback game. He had his last start with the Indianapolis Indians, I think it was a day or two ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him come up on maybe 6 or 7 days rest and start a series opener against Derek Shelton and the Twins. I'm excited to see how that pans out. Very excited.
I would love to see that too. I mean, I'm just excited to see him back, to be honest. It feels like it's been so long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happens. It feels like early when he does come back over these next few series is that they're just going to run with a 6 or 7 man rotation and use their performance to determine who gets bumped from that. It feels like they're going to, because Sherrington said, I think it was on The Fan recently, that he wants to give some guys some extra days rest. So I think keep an eye on how these pitchers in the rotation perform, and don't be surprised if a move comes for maybe one of them to the bullpen or to AAA. I wouldn't know who that would be besides Bubba, but you never know.
Well, I was trying to, my fucking screen's frozen. Yeah, we were talking about Carmen and Bubba. I guess those two are the guys that are on the heels of most likely getting sent to the bullpen. Now my screen's frozen. Great. But yeah, I also wanted to talk about Murph Gray out in AAA. Am I good? Am I good? Can y'all see me?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now. You were lagging for a little bit.
You're good.
All right. But Murph Gray right now in high A right now, he's on. He has 162 ABs with 59 hits, 11 home runs, and 40 RBIs. He's averaging a .364. So look out for him. He's playing really well. He's a third baseman for the Pirates right now. So look out for him. He's playing really well.
Yeah, definitely. I could see him being a day one starter and next year if he's able to fast track the minors. A lot of power in his bat, like what I'm seeing. Obviously, I think we haven't talked about it much, but Brandon Lau is playing himself out of the Pirates. Will probably not be here next season. You move Nicky G back to short or second base, and then you got a third baseman right here in Murph Gray. I really think the Pirates, despite what roster turnover, they might be fine, and I think Murph Gray is one of those names to keep an eye on.
Yep. Moving away from Pirates baseball though, not much going on with Steelers. What you want me to say something? You want to say something?
No, I was gonna. I like let out a little like and like I didn't know if it was audible.
Oh no, you're good. But moving on to the Steelers, not much going on with the Steelers though. But Rodgers did confirm this week. I think it was this week that this will be his last season. He confirmed that. Miles, did you want to take away what's going on with the Steelers and anything that you've seen over Twitter?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on them?
Yeah, so my number one thing that we could continue with in the QB room is Drew Aller and his footwork. There's been a lot of talks from insider Mike DeFabo of his footwork. It'll be interesting to see, how that conversation begins to develop as, we've already know that they're trying to re-upload new techniques, but it still seems like those around the team are just not satisfied and that there's mixed results when it comes with what Aller's been doing. It's very, very, very not certain with anything that is going on with Aller or Howard, but everything seems to be intensifying around it. People are just talking about what happens with, this QB room, and that includes us. It'll be interesting to see how those around the team report that situation, ongoing, and I think that's something to watch. Another thing that I saw, Brock Hoffman over from Dallas, one of the best linemen. We have him as a depth piece here, has the ability to play center or guard. I think it's another name to really keep an eye on over OTAs and in the early preseason. He's put up some extremely good numbers with, being a depth piece, but with an inside line that has a lot of guys that are not really certain and a lot of young players overall in the whole trenches, I think you could see him potentially being a starter, and I think it'll be very interesting to monitor how he, plays in camp, if it's a second team or a first team role. But then, continuing with that, almost every single thing I had was with this wide receiver room. A lot of quotes tied into this past week that I saw were from insiders saying, this is Rodgers' last dance. We need to get him another receiver. We need to fill out this, make a last dance push. Want to hear your guys' thoughts on that, because a lot of the stuff over the past week has been very positive with rookie Germie Bernard and that he can, be a day one starter. But then there's also been, Michael Pittman flirting with Juju Smith-Schuster, and it's a weird spot. I just want to see where you guys think about this receiver room. Obviously, it's a nice, group of young guys and old guys, but would you guys want a new third receiver in there? Would you mind a Juju return? Do you want to see Germie? What are you guys' thoughts?
I obviously had big praise for Germie. I really liked him out of Alabama. I thought his catches he made last year were awesome. I think he has really nice hands. I like Germie Bernard at the WR3. About Juju though, he was solid with the Chiefs, but I think that's just coaching. The Chiefs are really good. When you have Patrick Mahomes, he kind of makes it easy for you. I don't know. Juju has a lot of problems with his leg and shit like that. He has, I don't know, what's it called, like fluid in his leg. I don't really know how that looks like right now. But I don't really want Juju back here. I don't want no Juju on the beat. I don't want no Juju on the dancing on logos again.
Other names I heard around were when I want to hear your names on. I even heard like Stephon Diggs thrown around there, or DeAndre Hopkins. I think those are an interesting name too. I don't know what you guys.
I think Stephon Diggs is going to the Patriots, right? No, that's AJ Brown. Never mind. I'm thinking of AJ Brown. Never mind. Logan, you can go.
Yeah. So.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Holy shit. What
are your thoughts on the receiver room, Logan? Do we need a vet, or do you think it's fine how it is?
To be honest, I don't really think we do need another wide receiver in the room. DeAndre Hopkins would be, you threw that out. I like that name. That would be a nice, addition to have a veteran. We saw last year, he could still ball. He could still catch it. He can still run the routes. He might not be as dominant as he was on the Texans, but he still can run it. But I talked highly about Germie Bernard. I think that he's going to be great for us. I think he's going to be a great wide receiver 3 for us. And the addition of Michael Pittman is what we talked about, what we needed for the past 2 years. So I think that, past 2 years, I think that he fits that perfectly. And so I think we're all good, to be honest with you. We have our return man. We're set. We have our tight ends. I think we're pretty good with our receivers. Yeah, I think Rodgers should be happy with his weapons.
Yeah, we'll just see how they play
excuses.
with.
That's a tough task to ask, though. Him being happy with his weapons is always.
Well, he never is, but he's this is your last season. You're not really going to get another draft pick, buddy. So deal with it.
No, we'll just have to see how DK. We're just gonna have to see how DK and Michael Pittman work together. Obviously there's two big bodies, so we don't know how they're gonna work when it comes to route running. Obviously DK's more of a downfield type of guy. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I think Michael Pittman brings a more finesse into it. I think we're, like you said, DK's a more downhill kind of up, throw the ball up kind of guy, where Michael Pittman's sort of like that, but he's more of a finesse player. He can do the possession catches, possession catches and save himself. He does take some big hits, but I think he's a consistent player too. He's, even whenever he's not catching balls, he's always having an impact on the game. He's a great blocker. He's always out there for his teammates, at least for the Colts he was. So I think he's a perfect addition. He really complements DK in my opinion.
I actually saw, and I didn't put this in the notes, but on receivers and coming to mind, I saw a few reports saying, I don't know the exact, validity of it, but that the Steelers were one of a few teams that were actually interested in Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know if that would be a name that you guys would, obviously Pittman and DK are a little older. I don't know if you guys would consider trading, a day one pick for a receiver, but I don't know. I've heard that also thrown around there recently.
Brother, he's a dog. I would love Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, bro. He's a dog. Yeah. I would 100%. You don't know. The Jaguars Jaguars are winning. They're a good team. They want to shop him, or was it just rumors that?
Yeah, it just feels like the usage isn't really great with Hunter. And there was
Hunter is going to be. I thought Hunter's this season. He's going to be more of a corner now. He's not going to be a wide receiver that much anymore. That's what I heard, but I don't know if that's going to be switched. He's not. He might not be a two-way forward.
No, you're right. I think he will take most of the snaps at corner.
And Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't know why it is, but I think they're just trying to foot around maybe not paying him for his rookie deal, as you know how it is with all receivers. But just to finish on the receiver talk, a lot of positive buzz with Denzel Boston. I know we talked on our draft episodes. We were very all adamant, do not draft this guy. I'm not going to lie, a lot of the film I'm seeing and a lot of the tweets I'm seeing, I don't want to get convinced over social media, but a lot of people appear very, very high on this guy, even higher than their number one receiver that they drafted, Casey Concepcion. This guy fell a lot further than we, probably could have guessed it. I'm almost thinking that the Steelers might have gotten punked by a second rival in the draft.
Well, you went in the second round.
Yeah,
you went in the second round, so you never. I mean, there's guys that. Yeah, I mean, it's Cleveland Browns. I mean, sure. Hopefully, he becomes a star. I mean, he deserves it. Going into the second round, you were projected to be a first round. Good for him. I mean, there's guys in the draft that I mean, fucking Brock Purdy was drafted. What was he? He was the last pick in the draft, and you look at him now. So there's going to be guys that are in that draft, in any draft in the future, that are going to completely outplay their projection of when they got drafted. But I mean, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a big miss for us. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it sucks. I mean, he probably will be a great player.
At least that.
We were wrong.
We could say
we were
that.
Wrong. But I will say, like, we don't got to worry about that. I mean, if we got Germie Bernard and he plays well, and we got Michael Pittman, do we really need to worry about Denzel Boston for the Browns? I mean, I don't really think so.
Especially when Shedeur is probably throwing the ball, we should be fine.
Or even better, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, True. We don't know. We shouldn't worry about Cleveland.
I can't wait to see Deshaun Watson play.
I don't know if he's going to play or not. I don't know if
they
might.
Okay, wait. I'll say this right now. Deshaun Watson will start day one. There you go. You heard it here first.
I could believe it.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see.
You don't believe it, Caleb?
I mean, I just think they should just go the rookie. I think they should just release Deshaun Watson. Who cares? Just get him out of the locker room. I mean, he just hasn't been the same since all the allegations and all that since he's been in Houston.
Bro, they're
back
gonna
in
beat him like a rented mule. They're gonna get their fucking money's worth with this asshole. Like,
yeah,
they
gave
him the worst contract in NFL history. They gotta get their money's worth with this dickhead, dude.
No, he's awful. But
but like, I mean, yeah, you are right.
Yeah, but my last Steelers topic that I wanted to add here was it looks like in reporting OTAs that a lot of those around the team are noticing that instead of one safety high, how they used to play under Tomlin, you saw it with maybe Minka just playing center field back there. They're going back to a more traditional two safety approach with Brisker, obviously, who they acquired, and I can't remember who the other safety is. But yeah, it looks like
Elliott.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott. Yeah. So I'm very optimistic to see how that pans in. Obviously, there was a lot of wonder of how Elliott and Brisker would maybe play out there together. But I'm very happy of what I'm seeing from this defense, especially under Patrick Graham. He appears to be very dedicated to like the black and gold steel curtain mentality. I'm expecting very big things from this defense. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on this potential change. Obviously, it's very minor. But I don't know. Any thoughts on the defense?
No, just overall, just even about the defense and just like the whole different scenery that we brought in when it comes to coaches, I feel like we'll be way better when it comes to defense. Obviously, the defensive coordinator last year, Terry Austin, I felt like it didn't seem like he was making the calls that like he shouldn't have got any of the credit. Pretty much, I don't think it was all like. I felt like it was all Tomlin. It had nothing to do with that. So I feel like now that Patrick Graham, he's in here, I think he will actually be able to control the defense. And he has a bunch of dogs with him. And I like going back to the traditional two high. So I'm excited for everyone. And when it comes to the defense, the offense, all the coordinators we brought in, I felt like we actually have guys that actually contribute to the team other than just laying back and letting the head coach do everything.
Mm-hmm. I agree with a lot of what you say. I mean, I really like going back to this because I feel like a lot of one of our big problems. I mean, it came up in the last game, last regular season game against the Ravens, where we get beat on those deep passes over the top where we don't expect it. And I feel like having that safety back there will definitely prevent that. I feel like that was our weakest link on the defense, especially our safeties. But I am expecting big things out of his defense. I feel like T.J. Watt should have a big year. I mean, Cam Hayward should have a big year if he keeps asking for money. I think it's time for us to have a dominant defense again.
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially with the going back to two things, I think it'll mix up a lot of blitzes, and defense is really going to catch a lot of people off guard next year.
Yeah. Moving away from the Steelers, Logan, we're going to kick it off to you for bonus content real quick.
Well, this is a little bit of a sadder thing. I mean, I know we don't really talk about the racing world a lot, but I feel like it was a little bit important to announce. But Kyle Busch suddenly passed away this week of pneumonia that turned into sepsis at age 41. Just crazy. I mean, he was a living legend. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame of NASCAR. I mean, he's a 2-time champion. It's just really sad. I mean, I just wanted to hear what you guys thought about it, because I mean, whenever you guys sent me the link, I thought I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I mean, he was battling like the sickness the week before that, but I didn't think it was that bad. But just wanted to see what you guys thought.
It's crazy because he literally he won a trucker event or whatnot. Literally 6 days at that time, and it's horrible, and especially for obviously his wife, and then especially his son that's also in NASCAR and wants to be like his dad. It sucks that you don't have.
He's 11 years old, but
no, you know what I mean. Yeah, to get there, you know what I mean. But like to not have your dad by there coaching you, that's I feel bad for him.
And like one thing, like I know a lot of people don't like Kyle Busch, and a lot of people hated him, but I mean, I feel like he was a great dad, he was a great man, and that's just why it kind of sucks to see him die, especially like you brought up his kid, and like Richard Childress Racing said they'll hold his number for him, which I thought was a great touch, and they had their memorial for him for the Coca-Cola 600. Indy 500 did a memorial for him on the 18th lap, which they ironically crashed on, but that's neither here nor there. But I mean, I just think it's just beautiful to see the racing world come together for this legend that passed.
Yeah, and it was extremely tough to watch his wife and kids go out there, but it was a very nice and strong moment, especially from his son. I know they're going to hold that number 8 for him someday if he makes it, which is going to be very cool to maybe, see the Earnhardt, similar type of thing. Obviously, it's a terrible situation. I'm not a big racing guy. A lot of the stuff I did see was a lot of people mad about DraftKings not refunding bets that were placed on Kyle Busch, which is a situation I hope gets figured out and is very, very evil. Hopefully they do figure that out in the next coming days. They might have already, but I just think that needs drawn attention because that's just a terrible way to profit off of this situation.
I knew nothing about that, and that is horrible. They need to refund that, and they need to figure that out, because that's just, how are you going to profit off a man's death? You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. There's a line, and that's clearly crossing it.
He also wasn't able to win the race he always wanted, which was Daytona, which is also
which
sad
sucked.
as well.
He had one last attempt, and I mean, like you brought up that he won that truck racing on Saturday, and he said that you celebrate them all because you never know when your last one's gonna be.
I saw that. Yep.
I sort of know that he was probably hoping his last one would be the Daytona 500, which hurts. So it just sucks to see him go out, man.
Yeah, moving on to WNBA. Moving on to NBA. The playoffs right now. Maybe we'll start. We can start talking. You want to talk WNBA? No. Moving on to their team stinks. But the NBA, the Knicks versus the Cavs. Obviously, we talked about that. Knicks are they're about to sweep the Cavs. They're up 3-0. Pretty much terrible. In this series, I feel like Mitchell's pretty much doing everything. James Harden has to guard freaking what's his name, Brunson, which is just awful. Like he can't guard at all. And then moving into the OKC and Spurs game, the one that everyone wanted, They actually just tied up the series 2-2. Spurs did win.
103 to 82. Brutal.
Thoughts on the series on both series, East and West?
I want to talk about the Cavs because you brought it up like them like 3-0 and like fucking Harden sucked at defense. Yes, but I feel like this got to come down to Kenny Atkinson at a point. You know what I mean?
You see the quote he said.
We won 2 out of 3 games analytically. What the fuck are you talking about? You lost 3 games in reality, buddy. So what are you doing? Like, I mean, their whole strategy in game 2 was, hey guys, let's leave Josh Hart open for every fucking shot. And when he started making them, they still didn't cover him. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, and then last night they're giving up on plays when they're. You're down 20, but dude, you're in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. Why are you giving up? Like, what are we doing? And then it feels like he's losing complete control of that locker room at this point. Like every time he says something, they're not listening. Like it doesn't. It just feels like he has no control anymore. And it's crazy to see from a guy who just won the Coach of the Year last year.
But I completely agree. I didn't like Atkinson going to Cleveland in the first place. People forget this is the guy that was the coach of the Nets teams like 10 years ago that were terrible. Like, this guy's just not a good coach, and it's being exposed here. You mentioned that Harden, and it looks like they're going to probably give him a deal this offseason. I can't wait to the day they give him a max extension or whatever they're going to give him after getting swept this round, and the comments that are going to be fired off in the Beard's direction, because he has absolutely no results his entire 17-year career that have justified how he's acted or how the money he's earned. He's just not a winner, and it's very validating to see as a Harden hater.
It just doesn't even seem like he's a team player, bro.
No, he's not.
He's not.
And also, like, Evan Mobley, you're a 3rd overall pick, dude. You're making $33 million a year, and you didn't shoot the ball the entire second half in game 2. And you're fucking 7 foot, and you just stand at the 3-point line for half the fucking game. What are you doing? Like, get down in the fucking paint. You're a slashing shooter. What are you doing?
They had a trade for Giannis, but didn't do it because they didn't want to give up Mobley.
And that's the thing. I don't get why they're so fucking high on this guy. I mean, you drafted him 3rd, yeah, but like, dude, you don't use him like he's a 3rd overall pick at all. He doesn't play like he's a 3rd overall pick at all. He plays so lazy, and to see that shit happen in the Eastern Conference Final, it's just, what do we, like, how the hell did we even make it to this point? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how is a team with 2 7-footers getting, like, not able to imprint that on a team with Karl Anthony Towns? Like Mitchell Robinson is handling those 2 easily.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it doesn't make sense. They need LeBron. They need to bring back
LeBron. No, dude, it's not even LeBron. LeBron couldn't even solve this shit. The team is fucking rotten to the core right now, dude. They don't know how to play basketball right now.
They need Jason Kidd. They need Jason Kidd. They need Jason Kidd. He should go be their coach.
Ty Lue. No, they need
honestly,
Ty Lue,
yeah. I mean, they need someone better than Atkinson.
Lue,
But moving on to the West, though, obviously that's a very anticipated series right now. Obviously,
Great
like I said, they're tied 2-2. Your thoughts on that?
Spurs just whooped their ass tonight.
They did. Yeah, they did. I mean, I was thinking after that game where Fox came back, I was really worried. I was like, wow, the Spurs are back in full strength, and the Thunder made them look relatively easy. But this game was completely different. This series is going 7. There's no other way to say it. Like, there's no way to predict this series or what's going to happen. This is going to go 7, and this is going to be the best basketball I think we've seen in decades.
Yep.
Well, I wanted to talk about, obviously in game 3, the flopping from Shea. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. On, like, technically, isn't a flop, I believe, a technical foul? And I believe that's the thing.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be for.
But it just doesn't. But it's just like the amount. Like, I sent you guys a video of Shea. Literally every shot he took was him flopping, and it's just if they win this series, it's like they're just playing unethical Like, they're not playing ethical basketball, especially from that and how many fouls he gets from that. I don't know your guys' thoughts on that. If Adam Silver just needs to break down on that or put something. When it comes to the refs and how they call the games about that. Obviously, it's a part of the game. Like, sure, I would probably do the same thing, but it just seems to me it's not ethical basketball.
I want to agree with like the whole thing of like, does Adam Silver do something? But it's like, I feel like that same thing happened with Harden a few years ago, where they were like, well, we're going to start calling things, and then it went back to where it is now. So it's like, yeah, you can do that, but that's just going to distract it for like a year or two until it goes back to how it is. It's never going to truly change until like there's an actual punishment for flopping, which there's not going to be. I don't know why.
And I feel like, honestly, the only way that you can actually defeat unethical hoops is by just beating them straight up. Like, I mean, if he beats him straight up, if they beat them straight up playing ethically while they're doing this flopping bullshit, that shows that it doesn't fucking matter. The better team will win, you know what I mean? So, I think they just need to push through it. I mean, this series has been good. I mean, Wemby, game 1 went crazy. That was a
half quarter today.
Hit a half quarter today. We are seeing the hate come out. I mean, literally, it was 2 minutes into the first quarter. He smoked a layup and got fouled by Chet and punched the fucking the padding on the fucking hoop. He's just passionate from minute 1 of each game, and I love to see it. Like Miles said, this series is going 7 games, but I still stick by that. I think the Spurs are going to handle it, especially now that they are at full strength, and we see that defensive ability of Fox being on display. And we see them taking SJA out of the game, especially tonight. So, I mean, and they took the bench players out because in Game 3, whenever they did take SJA out, the bench players were lighting up from 3. But they figured it out this game, so they just got to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that you mentioned a little bit there that I want to kind of build off of is like the way of handling it. Almost like it feels like they're just trying to expose it. Like they're trying to do as little contact as possible on actual jump shots. Like you saw it today. There was a first quarter SGA in, you saw De'Aaron not even touch him. And I think that's what's almost getting them upset too, because you can see when they're not getting these calls, or obviously they got the call on that one that I'm talking about, but there's instances where they're not getting the calls, where the Spurs are almost trying to figure out this game of how to safely guard them without getting a call. It almost feels like, the Thunder are getting frustrated that they're not able to play their way of basketball. Great series. A lot of big stuff. The Nuns in the crowd tonight was amazing. The fanfare has been absolutely great on both sides. I can't get enough of this.
The stadiums have been loud, and I love it. I love a loud stadium that you can hear over the TV. It's great.
Yeah, I still when it comes to predictions though, I know you guys are rolling with Spurs. I still think OKC wins. I want the Spurs to win. Obviously, I don't like OKC. I just think they're too good.
Caleb, you got to jump on the train. You got to believe for it to happen.
Well, I'm just gonna stick with all my other points.
Like, why, because my whole thought of, I just can't see them stopping Wemby. Like, Hartenstein
that's my exact thing.
Well, that's the only thing. All they got to do is stop Wemby, and that's it.
No, but then they're the guards of the Spurs that
and then
stop the guards of the OKC. I mean, but
I don't know.
I think
when I watched Game 3, it was just like, and how
5 is amazing.
Yeah. Just how ahead the Spurs were, and they just completely gave it up. And obviously Wemby was a bit tired. Obviously we saw that, and that's kind of why I felt like they lost. But still, I just think OKC. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Shea thing, and he's just too good, and he's just all in my head. But I just think overall, even without J-Dub, I think they're still solid. And I think, whoever wins this series is obviously winning. I don't know. Maybe the Knicks will. I do think the Knicks will. Obviously, the Knicks are going to win against the Cavs. They're going to probably win the next game. Maybe Cavs get one game in, but it's going to be Knicks OKC or Spurs. I think it will probably be Knicks and OKC, but I think whoever wins in the West is definitely the champion.
I was going to say, we did talk about how we think that the West is going to win, and I still do believe that. But after watching the Knicks these couple games, I still don't like them. But their team offensively is very sound and very efficient. So I feel like they will probably make it more of a series than we thought it would be initially. And they're on a 10-game winning streak. These guys are good. So we can't just talk like they're gonna be getting swept.
Yeah, I agree. They'll steal a game. I just don't think their second unit or defense is able to compare to either of these other two teams, and that's going to be the problem. Also, who's their coach? Is it Mike Brown? I don't even know who their coach is. There's no way they should have kept Tibbs at this point.
They
really like Mike Brown though.
Mike Brown kind of reminds me of fucking what's his face who said go hard on them dudes.
Darvin Ham?
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of that, but a more successful version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
well,
I thought all the players this seemed like all the players enjoy Mike Brown around.
Well, that's 'cause
but
they
obviously they
hated
shouldn't have fired
Thibodeau.
Sims.
Yeah, they
Oh,
hated
yeah.
Thibodeau.
Oh yeah. They were done playing 48 minutes a game. They were like, "Fuck that, dude."
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, you
I don't know.
you think Knicks and
They also got to give out conference finals MVPs now, which is weird that they're doing this now too.
Oh,
so we
yeah,
have to
we kinda
we have
gotta
to think of
predict
that
that.
as who they're potentially. Obviously, it's going to be Wemby. Regardless, I think if they win or lose the series, Wemby's going to get MVP for the Western Conference Final. But I don't know who it would be for Eastern.
Yeah, you're right.
Would it be Brunson?
yeah,
I mean, it probably.
100. Yeah, that's he's the king.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the king, bro. The
Yeah,
amount, bro.
he's the king.
If the Knicks win, bro, tickets for to go to the Knicks in New York, I saw it was like $200,000 just for a ticket
And then
Yeah.
to go in the finals.
You could have
Crazy,
went to all the games in Cleveland for cheaper than it would have been one game in MSG.
which is crazy.
dude, and,
But yeah,
and
that-
the thing is too is like now that they're gonna make it to the finals, New York City's gonna get burnt down one way or another, win or loss. So I mean, I wouldn't want to be outside during any game 4, 5,
Yeah, but they're
6, or
passionate
7.
fans. They're passionate fans that will show up. So
Yeah.
I guess that's a plus.
It's
But,
hopefully it's in a positive way.
Yeah, that's gonna do it for episode 8 of BurghTakes. Again, make sure you follow BurghTakes. We also made a blog on Substack. Is that what it's called, Miles?
Yes,
If
sir.
you want to go follow that and subscribe to that, we're writing all articles daily between the three of us. Make sure you follow our podcast for keep up to date on all the new pods we bring out. Make sure you follow the TikTok, the Instagram, and all of that. We'll see you going into episode 9. Peace.